So, Marvel Zombies. So, anybody who has seen a lot of my content where I might talk about this subject, or anybody who knows me in my personal life, knows I kind of fucking hate Marvel Zombies. I think it's gross and unnecessary and convoluted and stupid and inconsistent and poorly characterized and all these awful sins of writing that you can really be. Um, Even the original Robert Kirkman stuff is just not good at all. It's just so like grotesquely unnecessary and all over the place. And it just goes for instead of trying to tell a story, it kind of goes for the shock for the sake of the shock. And it's kind of like it's just fucked up. It's a little too fucked up for me, and but not in a real way where it builds character. It's just fucked up for the sake of being fucked up, and that's kind of how Walking Dead is too in a lot of ways. It's very much The Boys in that it's just not the show. I think the show is wonderful, but The Boys comic where it's just kind of fucked up because it wants to be edgy. Um, it was like 2005 or six, so it was the age of edge for the sake of edge, was it not? Nonetheless, Marvel Zombies, quite a situation. There's like fucking 12 different incarnations in series, in one shots and origin stories and all this nonsense. Um, at one point, I was so obsessed with that I was gonna make a video about the hunger virus, the zombie plague. In that, at one point, I was probably the world's foremost authority on this fictional bullshit um, virus. I've since. Oh, hello, kitty cat. Hi, Jesse, buddy. Oh, he's a cute boy. I love him. But I was so obsessed with this fucking virus. I don't know why. I hated the comics, but for some reason, like I guess my hatred and my spite like spurred me forward to read all of it, and also and also to learn everything that there is to learn. Like I had theories and boards and shit, chalkboards and whiteboards and so forth. I get really obsessive over stuff like this. I have a whole chart of like universes. Um, but the point is, my spite led me to learn quite a bit about the virus. And one common theme in most Marvel Zombie stories, this is not including the Secret Wars because it's so unrelated from anything else. But Peter Parker, he's the key to all of this. And basically what that means is that in basically every Marvel Zombies universe, Peter Parker either is or plays a vital role in the stopping of the Marvel Zombies. And so the original 2149 Marvel Zombies continuity, Peter Parker was the only one who was actually successful in creating some sort of cure to the zombie plague. This wasn't an absolutist type of cure. It was just a cure that was able to render the zombies sort of like normal functioning human beings again. Um, Now, it had been 50 years since they were infected, so the cure didn't go so far as to make them look normal again, because that's rather impossible. But Peter Parker's cure was able to stave off the hunger and to render the infected sane again. And he attempted to use this on Wolverine. And I don't remember if that was a success or not. But ultimately, in the Earth Z continuity and the 2149 universe, Peter Parker was basically traveling the various universes looking for artifacts that could cure the virus. And so this was he tried to find the tablet of time and use that, and he wasn't successful in that. So he created his own cure, which was successful, but wasn't distributed to all the zombies. But he created a cure for the hunger and the insanity and stuff, which is very impressive because Tony Stark, Reed Richards, Hank Pym, and all those people tried. At least initially, Reed Richards tried to cure the hunger virus, and so did Ultimate Reed Richards, but they were ultimately unsuccessful in that endeavor. But the point is that Peter did eventually find these sort of nanites that were able to it wasn't a cure per se. It just sort of it was one of the only known things in the immediate multiverse, which is to say the few Earths that they actually went to, that was capable of killing the zombies. And so Peter Parker interfaced these nanites with Flint Marker the Sandman, and with the help of the Watcher, Sandman and Spider-Man were able to essentially spread the nanites to all the zombies via the Sandman and kill them all. And Sentry still remains. Sentry, the patient zero, the Watcher sent him back in time in order to create a closed time loop in the Marvel Zombies universe and the Earth Z universe, so that they were forever trapped in an endless cycle and couldn't infect any more of the multiverse. And in the 2020, I want to say, this came out in 2019, and the rest came out in 2020. Marvel Zombies Resurrection series, which included a one-shot as well as a 4-issue mini. Peter Parker was pretty much the last surviving superhero of the zombie plague, and he was tasked with taking care of the still living children of Reed and Sue Richards, that is to say Franklin and Valeria. So Peter was the leader of this small contingent of surviving humans that he led around the Marvel universe, just trying to survive. And his invention, which was reappropriated Sentinel technology that he found and procured from somewhere. It was called Nana, and it was a giant reprogrammed Sentinel. And Parker had basically created this sentient AI that would watch over, that was integrated into the Sentinel tech, and would watch over the children of the Fantastic Four. And of course, Peter would outfit it with all sorts of weaponry and tech and cool stuff like that. And so that bot and Peter's contingent of remaining humans were able to successfully find the home of the Brood, which are what caused the zombie virus in this universe. They were essentially a hive mind, which differs from the hunger virus, where they're individuals with a sentient virus in them, but they are technically individuals, wherein the Marvel Zombies Resurrection universe, they're not themselves, but they are themselves. It's more like they're part of a hive mind, and the individuals in the hive mind, the virus basically tries to emulate the characteristics of the previously existent host, who's now deceased. But it's nebulous whether or not any of that is a result of part of their consciousness still existing in the host body or not. So Peter Parker and his contingency destroy the Marvel Zombies at their source, thus rendering them free of the zombies. And so the point is that the through line of all these Marvel Zombies series, all these different universes and viruses, is Peter Parker being instrumental for the destruction of the zombies. And that's why it's interesting that when I looked on Big Bad Toy Store the other day, now this was a little bit, obviously everybody knows about Zombie Hunter Spider-Man now, but I was surprised because I was looking on Big Bad Toy Store, and it just so happened to be a little bit after the toys were posted, where I had discovered the existence of What If Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, the Marvel Legend. And that meant quite a bit to me, just because it tells us that it seems like in some form or another they seem to be using a similar Marvel Zombies idea as existed in the original series. That is to say, multiversal zombies in a version of Spider-Man trying to hunt them down and destroy them and stop them from infecting the rest of the multiverse. And so that's my hypothesis going in, is that these individual universes will start out as individual pieces, like the What If comics, where it's like, oh, what if Tony Stark was an Iron Man? What if Peggy Carter was Captain America? What if, what if, what if? But then as the series goes, we'll start to see more crossovers with the zombies, because the zombies will start to perpetuate themselves throughout these alternate universes that we've now become familiar with. And Spider-Man will have to hunt them down in each individual universe, perhaps with a small team of characters from these what-if scenarios, and put a stop to the zombie plague. So based off what I've seen, the zombies are sentient, but they don't seem to speak so far. They act and they fight and use weaponry and repulsors and stuff. And I don't know if it's muscle memory of the host or if they are actually sentient. The reason being is because we haven't actually seen them speak. We just sort of saw them yell zombie stuff. Roar, which is not a thing that the Marvel zombies traditionally do. They are like sentient and speak as though they are the characters. So we'll have to see about that. But my hypothesis is that the zombies will infect the What If multiverse, and that will be the big overarching story of the What If series. Peter Parker and perhaps other heroes going universe to universe, attempting to stop the zombies, and Parker leading the resistance against them as seemingly Sorcerer Supreme or some variation thereof. I'm not usually a fan of Spider-Man using magic. I think it's silly and stupid because he's inherently not a magic guy, he's a science guy. But I think perhaps Peter Parker will decide to learn magic, possibly as a result of the zombies. It could be that he needs a way to travel universe to universe, and as such he'll learn magic in order to enable himself to do that, and at some point appropriate the cloak of levitation into his outfit. His outfit, though, I really like. I gotta say, it's a Disney park suit, more or less, but it's a little cleaner, a little simpler. It's not got the crazy lines and shit all over the spider. It's just a nice, more classic feel of Spider-Man. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Also, I don't want to forget, I do have some fan art. My very first fan art, as a matter of fact. So here it is here, and thank you, Rich, for sending me this artwork. I've been in contact with Richard for some time over in the UK. Past several months, we've been chatting back and forth. Solid dude, and thank you for the artwork. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your continued viewership.